A really long time ago, I read a book on how to write programming languages like BASIC or C or COBOL or any of those others. And I was kind of fascinated by how simple it could be. I mean, these people would start out and they would write 5 commands, and if I remember right, they were and, not, if then else, a loop, and what am I missing? I'm missing one more. But with these 5 commands, you could write the rest of the programming language, and if you made them really efficient, then you could create a very efficient language. So I was fascinated by that, and I started to write my own language with the and, the not, and so on. But I thought you might want to see a couple of these to see how simple it actually is. This is my and statement. I call it my and statement. It's written in Python 3. The format is my and A and B, so this works a little bit like some of the spreadsheets work. The and statement is an and between A and B. You cannot cheat when you're doing this and use a predefined and statement out of Python or something. And here is the and truth table. And is only true when both inputs are true. So you'll see this if 0 and 0 are 0, 1 and 0 is 0, 1 and 0 is 0, and when 1 and 1 are together, it's true. So this is my and statement. I could take this piece of code and I could put it in a separate file in a library and call it, and I could use this just like an and statement in Python, and I would call it by saying my and the input 1 and input 2. So the first thing I do is I set my output variable to 0. If in1 is true, then I increment out1. If input 2 is also true, then I increment output by 1. And if output 1 is greater than the number 1, then I return the true value, else I return false. So that's all there is to it. This is an implementation of this table right up here. Okay, let's go down and look at the rest of it. The rest of it is just a test to test this routine. So I'm going to run 2 tests. The first one with numbers as inputs, and the next one with true and false as inputs. So here you can see I'm running the range 0 to 2, so it'll go 0, 1. And if it's 1, 1, it's going to print true, and if it's anything else, it's going to print false. What we're going to do is we're going to test with numbers as inputs. So we're going to run the range of 0 to 1, because this will stop before it reaches 2. And we're going to do the table we saw earlier, so we'll have an x of 0 to 1 and a y of 0 to 1, and we'll test those. And if my and of 0, 0, well, if it is 0, 0, it's going to be false, right? If it's only true when this is 1 and 1. So when my and is 1 and 1, this should print true, and it'll print a 1 and a 1, and everything else, 1, 0, 0, 1, everything else will be printed out false if our function is working. And then down here, I'm doing the same thing, except instead of using numbers 0, 1, I'm using the statements true and false. So I'm going from false to true. Okay, let's run it and see if it works. Okay, ta-da, it works. So 0, 0 is false, 0, 1 is false, 1, 0 is false, 1, 1 is true. And here, using the true false, so this was using the number 0, 1. Down here is false and true, and 0, 0 is false, 0, 1 is false, 1, 0 is false, and 1, 1 is true. So our my and function works. And it's really just that simple. You can start writing your own computer program by doing what I just did and putting that function out into another file and calling that library in when you want to use it. Okay, well that was it for creating your own, step 1 of creating your own computer language. I'll have a couple more. Hope you find this useful and interesting in your Python programming.